Hey everybody, Dr. Dan here. Welcome back. I hope you had a great spring break. So we're going to start week 9, which is chapter 8 in the textbook. And I would just want to go through that really quickly as part of my announcement this week. Today is Sunday the 9th. So you're back from spring break. There's a quiz due today on the 9th, but as you know from the syllabus and from Blackboard, that has an extended deadline till the 16th. So if you didn't do that because you were on break or whatever, don't worry about it. You have until next week. And then also there's the quiz for chapter 8, week 9, also is due on the 16th. So if you do nothing else, you'll have 2 quizzes due on Sunday. Next week, the 16th, and they're pretty standard stuff, the 5-question, 50-point deal that we normally do. So that's that. And as far as the chapter goes, chapter 8, I'll just kind of touch on some of the high points of the chapter and what to expect. And actually, the way I'll do that is I'll just kind of look at the quiz you're going to take for the week after, and that'll highlight some of the topics. So one of the things on the quiz, for example, talks about environmentalism beginning in the 1950s. There was a very famous book called Silent Spring by Rachel Carson. Maybe you've heard of it. It's seen as a book that really kind of started the environmental movement. So you'll want to know about that for the quiz. How was racial desegregation related to the Cold War? So read up on that. The long and short of that is, while the Cold War is going on and the US and the USSR are sort of arguing in public over whose system is better, Russia, the USSR, would point to race riots in the US and say, well, if your system's so good, why are you having all these troubles? So read up on that because it's sort of a different perspective of segregation, the Cold War, and how communist countries used the problems here against us as evidence that our system wasn't really working. So read up on that because it's interesting. You'll read up on, there's a question I should say about Betty Friedan's book that is called The Feminine Mystique, and that's really seen as a book that had a lot to do with starting the new push for women's rights. There's a couple of questions. There's a question about Latin America, and there's also a question about programs and things that happen that are related to the Cold War. And so that question looks for answers such as NASA and McCarthyism. So you'll learn about those 2 things as you read chapter 8, and they're all interesting. So the long and short of it is this whole period of time we're studying for this next week is the Cold War. That's that period of time after World War II, and which really kind of ended in 1989 with Reagan, but we're really not there yet. So this week we're talking about all the things that were happening in that period of time, seen as between 1949 and 1989 for the most part. So that's it. If you have any questions about this chapter or chapter 7 or the quizzes, let me know. Also, please know that I'm turning in midterm grades probably today. So if there's anything missing, let me know ASAP so I can get that counted towards your midterm. But I think everyone is caught up at this point. So that's it for now. Be safe. Have a great day. And if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks. Bye-bye.